its relationship with the Taliban, which is understandable. Having said that, there's been a remarkable level of cooperation. I mean, something no one would ever possibly have imagined, whatever, even a month ago. And as the president was saying, it's actually ongoing now, despite the incident. They're, kind of helping try and deal with this. Given that, after the 31st, is it actually conceivable that there could be some kind of longer-term relationship on the mutual interests that the president talks about, security, humanitarian aid, and whether you call it recognition or not, you're basically working alongside the Taliban authorities in Afghanistan long-term?
Well, I would say first that we will continue to work to get people out of Afghanistan even after the 31st, and we will need to coordinate with the Taliban in order to do that. I'm not going to label that a partnership or anything other than continued coordination. And we, again, believe we have a great deal of leverage in order to implement that commitment.
Sure, but I'm sorry, on other issues, beyond the evacuations, let's say that gets done, hopefully it is done. Mm-hmm. But there's going to be all sorts of other things. There's going to be the security, the terrorism, the humanitarian, from their point of view, the humanitarian aid. Could you see this kind of mutual interests agenda continuing with them?
I don't want to get ahead of where we are. Obviously, we are committed to continuing to deliver humanitarian assistance to the people of Afghanistan. There are a range of international partners who are committed to doing the same thing. The United Nations also will continue to have a presence on the ground, which will be a mechanism for delivering a great deal of that assistance. And I would just reiterate again, we would need to have a continued coordination in order to continue to get people out and evacuate them, as we are going to plan to do after the 31st. Go ahead. Oh, go ahead, Shelby.
Thanks. I just have two for you. This morning, Kirby tweeted that the evacuation operations in Kabul won't be wrapping up in 36 hours and that they'll be evacuating as many people as they can until the end of the mission. What does the administration define the end of the mission as? Is it the 31st, or is it once we evacuate everyone that the administration has promised to get out?
The end of this mission, yes, the 31st. But our commitment to getting American citizens out who may not be ready to depart continues. There is no deadline there's no end of that timeline, I should say, to getting our Afghan partners out. And I think he put out that tweet, John Kirby, as the Pentagon spokesperson, put out that tweet because there was a great deal of reporting that was inaccurate, that we were ending evacuation flights tomorrow, and that is not accurate.
And then just one more. The president promised earlier that they'll continue to get any American who wishes to get out of Afghanistan out even after the 31st. How is the administration going to ensure the safe evacuation for U.S. citizens without troop presence when, even with troop presence, we just saw this attack happen?
Well, again, over the last 11 days, we've evacuated 104,000 people, including the vast majority of Americans who are in Afghanistan. But our commitment does not end, right? We are continuing to work to get every American citizen who wants to leave out before the 31st. We will need to continue to coordinate with the Taliban in order to get people to the airport and out from the airport. Those operational details and discussions are ongoing, and as we have more to report to all of you, we will provide that information. Go ahead.
Thank you, Jen. Moments ago, you said that the commitment doesn't end at the end of the month, and that despite August 31st, the commitment remains. During his remarks moments ago, the president said that we were going to try and get, quote, as many people out as we can. Is he trying to prepare the American public for a sort of harsh reality that some Americans might still be left on the ground there when we leave?
There are some Americans who may not have decided to leave by the 31st. That is possible. Many of these Americans who remain are dual citizens. They may have extended family members, 20 family members, 30 family members, others who they want to bring with them, and they're not ready to make that decision yet. Our commitment to them does not end. We will continue to work to get them out. But his objective and focus and laser focus, which he asks for many updates a day on, is getting every American who wants to leave out now in the next few days. That is what our U.S. military is working to deliver on.
Jen,
go ahead.
A quick follow-up to that. What are those Americans supposed to do on September 1st?
We have been reaching out, in touch with every single American who has reached out to us and we have contact for via phone, email, text, WhatsApp. That will continue. That will continue. But our focus right now is on getting every single American who wants to leave out in advance of the 31st.